Good evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about two words we often hear but rarely take the time to truly understand: success and leadership. They're words that inspire, that drive us, and yet they're also words that can mislead us if we fail to grasp their deeper meaning. Let's start with success. What is it really? Is it reaching a goal, hitting a milestone, earning a title? Sure, those things feel good in the moment, but they're fleeting. If success is only about checking boxes, what happens when the list is complete? True success isn't measured in moments. It's measured in momentum. It's about building something so strong, so meaningful, that it outlasts you. Communication. And that brings us to leadership. Because success, real, lasting success, is never a solo journey. It's never about you. Leadership is not a position. It's a mindset. It's not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. The best leaders understand that their job isn't to have all the answers, but to inspire and empower others to find their own. Your why is the foundation of everything you do. It's more than a mission statement. It's the driving force behind your actions, your decisions, and your aspirations. It's the core reason you wake up each morning with purpose and go to bed with a sense of fulfillment, regardless of the day's challenges. Without a clear and compelling why, leadership becomes directionless, and efforts can quickly devolve into meaningless activities that may produce results but fail to inspire and sustain long-term success. And then the last is, most people have accepted that this is the way things are, and many are. When you know your why, you operate from a place of clarity. It becomes a guiding light in times of uncertainty, helping you navigate complex situations and difficult decisions with confidence. In the absence of a clear why, you risk making choices based on immediate pressures or superficial goals, which often leads to a lack of alignment between your actions and your values. A strong why anchors you to something bigger than yourself, allowing you to maintain focus on what truly matters, even when the path forward is unclear or fraught with obstacles. Understanding your why starts with introspection. It requires stepping back from the busyness of daily demands to reflect deeply on what motivates you and what you stand for. It's about asking tough questions and being honest with yourself. What impact do you want to make in the world? What legacy do you hope to leave? What core values drive your decisions and behaviors? The answers to these questions reveal the essence of your why, providing a roadmap for how you lead and influence others. Your why is personal, but it doesn't exist in isolation. It must connect with the people you lead and the goals you strive for. Leadership isn't about imposing your vision on others. It's about inspiring and empowering them to align their own passions and efforts with a shared purpose. When your why is clear and authentically communicated, it has the power to resonate with others on a profound level. It creates a sense of unity, fostering trust and loyalty among your team or organization. People don't just follow leaders because of what they do. They follow because they believe in why they do it. But finding and defining your why is only the beginning. Living it consistently is where the real work lies. It requires integrity and courage. Living your why means embodying it in everything you do every day. It's reflected in your actions, your words, and your decisions. This authenticity inspires others because they see that your commitment is genuine. There's no room for half-heartedness or inconsistency when it comes to your why. It must be a non-negotiable part of who you are and how you lead. Challenges and adversity will test your resolve, and this is when your why becomes even more important. When obstacles arise, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture and get bogged down in the minutiae of problem solving. But a strong why keeps you grounded. It reminds you of your larger purpose and helps you persevere through difficulty with resilience and determination. Instead of being overwhelmed by setbacks, you view them as opportunities to reinforce your commitment to your mission. One of the most powerful aspects of knowing your why is the ripple effect it creates. When you operate from a place of purpose, it's contagious. It inspires the people around you to dig deeper and connect with their own why. This shared sense of purpose creates a culture of meaning and motivation that elevates everyone. People who feel connected to a clear purpose are more engaged, more committed, and more innovative. They're not just working for a paycheck or chasing fleeting rewards. They're contributing to something they believe in, and that makes all the difference. Your why is not static. It evolves as you grow and as circumstances change. Staying attuned to these shifts is crucial. Revisiting and refining your purpose ensures that it remains relevant and impactful. This process of continuous alignment allows you to stay agile and responsive without losing sight of your foundation. It also reinforces your authenticity because it shows a willingness to adapt while staying true to your core values. A compelling why can transform your leadership and your ability to drive long-term success. It turns your goals into something far more significant than tasks to complete or benchmarks to reach. It makes them a manifestation of the difference you want to make in the world. The deeper the connection you have with your why, the greater your capacity to inspire others and create meaningful, sustainable impact. Prioritizing people is the cornerstone of any meaningful and sustainable success. At its heart, leadership is not about strategies, technologies, or metrics. It's about people. They are the driving force behind innovation, progress, and impact. While profit and performance are often the metrics we use to measure success, they are only byproducts of an environment where people are empowered, valued, and supported. Without a focus on people, any success achieved is often temporary, brittle, and easily lost. When leaders prioritize people, they shift the focus from transactional interactions to building genuine, meaningful connections. This approach fosters trust, collaboration, and a sense of belonging that motivates individuals to bring their best selves to the table. Employees are not just tools to achieve an outcome, they are individuals with unique talents, perspectives, and aspirations. Recognizing this and making decisions that put their needs and well-being at the forefront creates an ecosystem where people thrive, and success becomes a natural extension of their contributions. People-first leadership begins with a mindset that values relationships over results. This doesn't mean neglecting performance, rather, it acknowledges that great performance arises from empowered and engaged individuals. It's about understanding that the success of the organization is directly tied to the happiness, growth, and commitment of the people who work within it. When leaders prioritize people, they recognize that investing in human capital is the most sustainable strategy for long-term success. So this investment takes many forms. It starts with creating an environment of psychological safety, where individuals feel seen, heard, and respected. In such an environment, people are encouraged to take risks, share ideas, and voice concerns without fear of judgment or reprisal. Leaders who cultivate psychological safety understand that innovation flourishes in spaces where individuals feel free to express themselves fully. When employees feel safe, they are more likely to push boundaries, offer creative solutions, and engage in productive problem solving, driving the entire organization forward. Prioritizing people also means fostering a culture of growth and development. Leaders who place a premium on their team's potential see beyond what is and look at what could be. They provide opportunities for continuous learning, skill building, and professional advancement. This approach not only enhances individual performance, but also demonstrates that the organization is invested in its people's long-term success. Employees who feel their growth is valued are more loyal, more engaged, and more likely to contribute positively to the organization's mission. At the same time, leaders who prioritize people understand the importance of empathy. Empathy is the bridge that connects leaders to the individuals they serve. It enables leaders to understand the unique challenges, motivations, and aspirations of their teams. When leaders actively listen and genuinely care about the well-being of their employees, they build trust that can withstand even the toughest challenges. Empathy fosters a sense of community, reminding everyone involved that they are part of something greater than themselves. Communication plays a critical role in prioritizing people. Open, honest, and transparent communication fosters trust and alignment across teams. Leaders who prioritize people ensure that information flows freely in all directions, creating an environment of collaboration and shared understanding. Transparency eliminates uncertainty, reduces conflict, and ensures that everyone feels included in the journey toward shared goals. Regular feedback and recognition further strengthen this dynamic, affirming that individual contributions are acknowledged and appreciated. The impact of prioritizing people is profound and far-reaching. It goes beyond creating a positive work environment. It drives performance, innovation, and resilience. When employees feel valued, their productivity increases naturally. They approach their work with enthusiasm, energy, and a genuine sense of purpose. Prioritizing people also enhances retention. High turnover can be one of the most costly challenges an organization faces, and it is often the result of employees feeling undervalued or unsupported. Leaders who make people a priority reduce attrition, and cultivate a stable, committed workforce. Leadership that prioritizes people is especially important in times of adversity. Crises reveal the true nature of leadership. When organizations face challenges, leaders who value their people respond with compassion and clarity. They understand that resilience is a collective effort and that by supporting their teams, they can weather any storm together. Adventures a storm. During difficult times, people-first leaders provide not just direction but also reassurance, proving that their commitment to their teams extends beyond moments of convenience. The greatest leaders understand that their legacy is not the products they create, the deals they close, or the accolades they receive. Their legacy is the impact they have on the people they lead. By prioritizing people, leaders not only unlock the potential of their teams, but also create an environment where trust, collaboration, and success become self-sustaining. Organizations that thrive are built on the strength of individuals who feel respected, appreciated, and connected to a shared purpose. Focusing on creating momentum rather than chasing isolated milestones is one of the most significant shifts a leader can make when aiming for sustainable success. Milestones are often seen as indicators of progress, markers of achievement that signify accomplishment. They are celebrated with ceremonies, promotions, and reports filled with numbers. But the reality is that milestones, while important, are temporary. They represent moments in time rather than the continuous movement needed to propel individuals, teams, or organizations forward. When we fixate solely on reaching these moments, we risk losing sight of the bigger picture, the power of momentum. Momentum is what carries you forward beyond a single achievement. It's the underlying force that transforms short-term wins into long-term growth. Unlike milestones, which are static and fleeting, momentum is dynamic. It builds upon itself, growing stronger as it progresses. Leadership that prioritizes momentum understands that the goal is not simply to accomplish something, but to lay the groundwork for consistent and ongoing progress. It's about cultivating systems, habits, and cultures that keep propelling you forward regardless of external circumstances. One of the most significant challenges of milestone-driven leadership is the drop-off that often follows success. Achieving a goal can create a sense of complacency, a feeling that the work is done. This is why organizations sometimes plateau after reaching a big target. When leadership places all its energy into hitting a specific number, completing a project, or crossing a finish line, they can neglect what comes next. Momentum-driven leadership, on the other hand, ensures that every milestone becomes a stepping stone, not a stopping point. Each success feeds into the next effort, creating an upward trajectory that continuously builds. Momentum starts with vision. Leaders must define a vision that extends beyond individual accomplishments. A compelling vision is a driving force, a magnet that pulls teams forward even when immediate goals have been met. This vision provides the context that makes each milestone part of a larger journey, ensuring that the energy and focus that drive success don't dissipate once a target has been reached. Instead, they are redirected and amplified, sustaining the forward movement necessary for long-term success. Sustaining momentum requires consistency. Leaders need to cultivate habits and systems that reinforce progress even during challenging times. Consistency doesn't mean that every step is monumental. On the contrary, momentum thrives on small, meaningful actions repeated over time. These incremental efforts might seem insignificant on their own, but their cumulative impact is what drives enduring growth. Leaders who focus on building momentum emphasize the importance of discipline and persistence, encouraging teams to keep moving forward even when progress feels slow or unseen. Momentum is also fueled by adaptability. The environment in which we operate is constantly changing, and leaders must ensure that the momentum they build is flexible enough to withstand shifts and disruptions. This means creating teams and systems that are resilient and responsive. When setbacks occur, as they inevitably will, momentum-driven organizations don't crumble under the pressure. Instead, they pivot, leveraging the energy they've built to navigate obstacles and seize new opportunities. Adaptability ensures that momentum doesn't falter, but evolves to fit the needs of a changing landscape. Well, leadership that focuses on momentum also understands the importance of culture. A culture that values progress over perfection, that celebrates effort as much as results, is one that nurtures momentum. In such cultures, individuals are encouraged to take initiative, to experiment, and to push boundaries without fear of failure. This creates an environment where everyone feels invested in the journey, where collective energy feeds into the forward motion of the organization as a whole. Leaders who prioritize culture ensure that momentum is not limited to a single person or department, but is embedded in the fabric of the organization. Recognition plays a vital role in maintaining momentum. While the ultimate goal is not to fixate on milestones, celebrating them is an essential part of keeping energy high and motivation strong. Leaders must strike a balance between acknowledging achievements and redirecting focus toward the future. Each milestone should be celebrated not as an endpoint, but as evidence of the momentum that has been built. This approach fosters a sense of pride and accomplishment, while reinforcing the larger vision and encouraging continued effort. Building momentum is also deeply tied to trust. People are more willing to contribute to sustained progress when they believe in the direction they're moving and the leader guiding them. Momentum-driven leaders take the time to communicate clearly, to involve their teams in decision-making, and to create a sense of ownership among all stakeholders. Trust transforms momentum from something that leaders impose to something that teams collectively create. Momentum is not accidental, it's intentional. Leaders who focus on creating momentum approach every decision, interaction, and challenge with the understanding that they are building something greater than themselves. It's not just about today's results, but about laying the foundation for tomorrow's potential. By emphasizing continuous progress and fostering an environment of shared purpose, they ensure that their organizations are not defined by single successes, but by the enduring energy that sustains and elevates them. Leading by example is one of the most fundamental principles of leadership. People are far more influenced by what leaders do than by what they say. Actions have a way of cutting through ambiguity and communicating intent with unparalleled clarity. A leader's behavior sets the tone for an organization, shaping its culture, values, and ultimately its outcomes. Leadership by example isn't about perfection or having all the answers. It's about authenticity, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to living the standards you expect of others. When a leader leads by example, they build trust. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful relationship, and it's no different in leadership. People want to know that their leader is credible, reliable, and aligned with the values they promote. Empty promises or a do as I say, not as I do approach quickly erode trust. When a leader demonstrates through their actions that they believe in the principles they espouse, trust grows naturally. This trust is what allows a leader to inspire others to follow willingly, not out of obligation or fear, but out of genuine respect and belief in their vision. Consistency is critical in leading by example. A leader's actions must align with their words, not just occasionally, but consistently. It's not enough to act with integrity on a good day or when things are running smoothly. True leadership by example is revealed in moments of difficulty and uncertainty. When challenges arise, people look to their leaders, not only for guidance, but also for evidence of resolve and commitment. If a leader demands resilience, creativity, or adaptability from their team, they must demonstrate those same qualities in themselves. Integrity is at the heart of leading by example. Integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It means making decisions rooted in values even when those decisions are difficult, unpopular, or personally inconvenient. Leaders who act with integrity create a sense of security within their teams, reassuring everyone that the organization's direction is guided by principle, not by whim or self-interest. This kind of leadership creates a stable foundation on which individuals and teams can flourish, knowing that their leader will uphold the values they claim to stand for. Leading by example also fosters accountability. It's one thing to hold others to high standards, but it's something else entirely to hold yourself to those same standards. Leaders who are willing to be held accountable for their actions send a powerful message. They show that they are not above the principles they enforce, creating an environment where accountability is a shared value rather than a burden placed solely on others. When employees see their leaders taking responsibility for their successes and their failures, they feel more empowered to do the same. One of the most profound ways leaders can lead by example is through hard work and dedication. If a leader expects commitment, they must first demonstrate it themselves. When a leader is willing to roll up their sleeves, get involved, and make sacrifices for the good of the team, they inspire others to follow suit. This doesn't mean a leader has to do everything or micromanage every detail. It means showing that they are willing to invest their time and energy into the collective success of the group. Empathy is another cornerstone of leading by example. Leaders who treat their teams with compassion and understanding set a powerful precedent for how people should treat one another. Empathy in leadership isn't just about listening. It's about actively seeking to understand the experiences, challenges, and needs of those you lead. When leaders model empathetic behavior, they create an environment of mutual respect where people feel valued and supported. This sense of care and connection fosters a culture where collaboration and trust thrive. Courage is an equally important component of leadership by example. It's easy to promote boldness and innovation in theory, but it's much harder to act courageously in the face of uncertainty. Leaders who take risks, make difficult decisions, and stand by their convictions demonstrate what it means to lead with courage. Their actions inspire others to take initiative, overcome fear, and step outside their comfort zones in pursuit of progress. Leadership by example also includes self-awareness and humility. A leader who is self-aware understands their strengths and limitations, continuously seeks to grow, and is unafraid to admit mistakes. This humility fosters a culture of continuous learning and improvement. When leaders are open about their imperfections and willing to learn from feedback, they create a safe space for others to do the same. And this openness promotes innovation, as individuals feel encouraged to share ideas without fear of judgment. Leading by example means living the principles you want others to emulate. It requires a deep sense of personal accountability, a commitment to values, and a willingness to prioritize the needs of the team above personal gain. Leadership isn't about telling people what to do. It's about showing them what is possible. When leaders model the behavior, attitudes, and values they wish to see in others, they inspire not just compliance, but real engagement, loyalty, and shared purpose. The example a leader sets becomes the blueprint for the culture and success of their team or organization, proving that leadership at its core is not about authority, but about influence through action. Embracing failure as a stepping stone to growth is one of the most transformative mindsets a leader can adopt. Failure is an inevitable part of any journey toward meaningful success, and how a leader perceives and responds to failure profoundly shapes their ability to grow, innovate, and lead effectively. Too often, failure is treated as something to be feared, hidden, or avoided at all costs. But this perspective limits potential and stifles progress. Leaders who learn to see failure not as a verdict, but as a valuable source of learning, open the door to continuous improvement and enduring success. Failure is an inherent part of risk takers, and risk takers essential to innovation. Leaders who avoid failure often end up avoiding the very actions that lead to breakthroughs. When failure is viewed as something catastrophic, teams become hesitant, creativity is stifled, and organizations fall into a pattern of playing it safe. This mindset results in missed opportunities, stagnation, and an inability to adapt to change. The exercise is designed to radically improve your effectiveness and its usefulness as an organization. Leaders who embrace failure as a natural outcome of pushing boundaries cultivate an environment where people feel empowered to experiment, take chances, and explore new possibilities without fear of repercussions. One of the most important ways leaders can embrace failure is by normalizing it as part of the process. This means creating a culture where failure is not treated as a source of shame, but as an inevitable step along the path to growth. Normalizing failure starts with acknowledging that perfection is neither realistic nor required for success. It involves openly discussing failures, analyzing what went wrong, and reframing setbacks as opportunities to learn and improve. By modeling this attitude, leaders encourage their teams to approach challenges with curiosity and resilience instead of fear and defensiveness. For leaders themselves, embracing failure requires humility and self-awareness. It means being willing to admit mistakes, take accountability, and demonstrate vulnerability. A leader who admits when they've failed sets a powerful example for their team, showing that failure is not something to hide, but something to confront and learn from. This vulnerability builds trust, as people respect leaders who are honest about their shortcomings and committed to personal growth. By acknowledging their own failures, leaders create a culture where mistakes are seen as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Failure is most valuable when it becomes a catalyst for reflection and learning. Leaders who embrace failure use it as an opportunity to ask critical questions and gather insights. What went wrong? Why did it happen? What could have been done differently? What lessons can be applied moving forward? This process of reflection turns failure into a source of knowledge and equips individuals and teams with the tools to improve. Leaders who consistently engage in this type of analysis foster a mindset of continuous learning and improvement, making failure a driving force for positive change. Embracing failure also requires resilience. Failure often comes with disappointment, frustration, and doubt, but resilient leaders have the emotional strength to move past these feelings and focus on the bigger picture. They recognize that every setback is temporary and that the ability to recover, adapt, and try again is what ultimately determines success. Resilient leaders inspire their teams to keep going, even when the path forward seems uncertain. And they foster a sense of confidence that allows others to embrace challenges with determination. Another key aspect of embracing failure is recognizing its role in shaping character. Failure tests a leader's resolve, adaptability, and perspective. It teaches humility, patience, and perseverance. Leaders who have faced and overcome failure often emerge stronger, more empathetic, and better equipped to navigate future challenges. They develop a deeper understanding of their own strengths and weaknesses and become more attuned to the needs and experiences of those they lead. This growth is not just professional but deeply personal, shaping leaders into more authentic, compassionate, and effective individuals. Thank you so much for your time. When leaders embrace failure, they also create space for innovation. Some of the most significant breakthroughs in history have come from failure, as individuals and organizations use setbacks as springboards for reimagining possibilities. Leaders who encourage their teams to take calculated risks and view failure as an opportunity to pivot, iterate, and refine create an environment where creativity flourishes. Innovation thrives when people are not paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes, but are motivated by the possibility of discovering something new. Embracing failure means celebrating the effort, not just the outcome. Leaders who recognize and reward the courage it takes to try, even if the result is a failure, reinforce the idea that growth comes from action. They encourage their teams to step outside their comfort zones and take on challenges with confidence, knowing that even if they stumble, the experience will contribute to their development. Celebrating effort shifts the focus from avoiding mistakes to valuing progress, resilience, and perseverance. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a critical part of it. Leaders who embrace failure demonstrate to their teams that growth is a journey filled with setbacks, lessons, and opportunities. By facing failure with courage, humility, and a commitment to learning, they create an environment where individuals and organizations can thrive, adapt, and reach their fullest potential. There is no more wonderful parallel than readership and leadership. Building trust is one of the most vital responsibilities of any leader, and it is the foundation upon which all meaningful relationships and successful organizations are built. Trust is not a given. It is earned through consistent action, transparency, and a commitment to integrity. Without trust, even the most well-crafted strategies and the most ambitious visions will fail to gain the support and collaboration needed to bring them to life. Leaders who prioritize building trust create a solid framework for long-term success, fostering loyalty, collaboration, and resilience within their teams. At its core, trust is about alignment between words and actions. People trust leaders who consistently demonstrate that they mean what they say. This consistency reassures individuals that the leader is dependable and genuine, reducing uncertainty and strengthening relationships. When a leader's behavior consistently reflects their stated values and principles, trust flourishes. In contrast, when there's a gap between what leaders say and what they do, it creates confusion and breeds skepticism, undermining relationships and destabilizing the organization. Transparency is another crucial element in building trust. Leaders who are open and honest about their intentions, decisions, and challenges create a culture of openness where information flows freely. This transparency does not mean sharing every detail, but being clear and truthful in communication. It involves being upfront about challenges and setbacks instead of hiding or spinning the truth to fit a more comfortable narrative. When leaders communicate transparently, they demonstrate respect for their team, recognizing them as capable of handling the truth and contributing to solutions. A critical aspect of building trust is showing empathy. Leaders who genuinely care about the well-being and experiences of their teams forge deeper, more meaningful connections. Empathy allows leaders to understand the perspectives of those they lead, fostering an environment of mutual respect and understanding. When people feel seen and heard, they are more likely to trust their leader and feel a sense of loyalty to the team and organization. Empathy is especially vital during difficult times, as it demonstrates that a leader values their team not just for their work, but for who they are as individuals.
Thank you.
By listening plays a pivotal role in building trust. Leadership is not just about giving directions, it is about fostering dialogue and actively seeking input from others. Leaders who listen attentively and validate the ideas, concerns, and feedback of their teams show that they respect and value those perspectives. This collaborative approach strengthens trust and ensures that everyone feels invested in the organization's direction. Trust deepens when people know their voices matter and that their input contributes to the collective success of the group. Accountability is equally essential in building trust. Leaders must take responsibility for their actions, decisions, and outcomes, especially when things go wrong. Avoiding blame shifting or making excuses demonstrates integrity and reinforces a culture where accountability is a shared value. Leaders who own their mistakes set an example for their teams, showing that taking responsibility is not a weakness, but a sign of strength and maturity. This accountability encourages others to act with integrity, fostering trust and mutual respect across the organization. Consistency in behavior and decision-making is vital for establishing trust. Teams need to feel confident in their leaders' ability to remain steady and reliable, even in times of uncertainty. Leaders who are consistent in their values, principles, and approach create a sense of stability and predictability that reduces anxiety and enables teams to focus on their goals. Inconsistent leaders, by contrast, create confusion and hesitation as people are left uncertain about what to expect or how to respond. Trust is also built by recognizing and valuing contributions. Leaders who consistently acknowledge and celebrate the efforts and achievements of their teams demonstrate that they see and appreciate the work being done. This validation fosters a sense of pride and belonging, reinforcing the trust that individuals place in their leader. When people feel valued, they are more likely to go above and beyond in their work, creating a positive cycle of trust and performance. Taking a long-term perspective is crucial when building trust. Trust is not something that happens overnight. It is the result of repeated interactions and experiences over time. Every decision, action, and interaction either reinforces or erodes trust. Leaders who understand the cumulative nature of trust take care to approach each moment with intention, knowing that their behavior has a lasting impact. They recognize that trust is a fragile thing, easily damaged by inconsistency, dishonesty, or neglect, and they take deliberate steps to nurture it. One of the most powerful ways leaders can build trust is by empowering their teams. Empowerment involves giving people the autonomy, resources, and support they need to succeed. It shows that the leader believes in their team's capabilities and trusts them to make decisions and take ownership of their roles. This mutual trust creates a collaborative dynamic where people feel motivated and confident in their ability to contribute. Empowerment fosters innovation and resilience as individuals feel secure enough to take initiative and explore new ideas. Building trust requires patience, commitment, and a genuine belief in the importance of relationships. Leaders who focus on building trust create an environment where collaboration flourishes, challenges are met with courage, and individuals are inspired to reach their fullest potential. Trust transforms the dynamic between leader and team from one of authority and compliance to one of partnership and shared purpose, laying the foundation for lasting success and meaningful impact. And finally, remember this: leadership isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about showing up every day with a commitment to the people you lead and the mission you serve. Long-term success isn't something we achieve, it's something we cultivate. It's the result of consistent effort, shared vision, and unwavering dedication to making a difference. So let's lead boldly, let's lead wisely, and let's lead for something bigger than ourselves.